No one wants to see that matchup. And I mean, no one wants to see that matchup. No one with any sense or any taste wants to see that matchup. Maybe delusional Gaethje fans or maybe delusional Islam fans want to see that matchup, but yeah, nobody with any sense or any respectable taste wants to see that fight next. The next fight for Islam should be Ilia Topuria. That should be no one else but Ilia Topuria. Arman was the rightful challenger, but he decided to get injured after the weigh-ins or before the weigh-ins or whatever he did behind the scenes, whatever the reason may be, whether it was needing a drama thing or something else before that or after that. No, he had the fight set up, pay-per-view, all the promotion went into it, all the money went into it. Then weigh-in was good. Then all of a sudden, what, a couple hours after that or 24 hours, a very short span of time, he got injured and he couldn't fight. So Hanato Moicano to step up. So he lost his opportunity. Is he that far off from getting that matchup again? No, he just needs one more win and he's back in that matchup. Or he's one person falling out and he's stepping up for the match. Like, oh, Ilia gets the next matchup, then Ilia gets injured. Oh, Arman can step in. Or Ilia versus Islam gets made, Islam gets injured, and then Arman can step in versus Ilia for an interim belt. That's where he can step in right there. But because he fumbled that opportunity, he fumbled that opportunity. No, he needs to be passed over. He needs to do something. He either needs to wait or he needs to take a matchup. And I know a lot of people saying that Ilia should fight Arman so he can get a title shot. He shouldn't. Am I saying that, oh, he could lose that matchup? Obviously, he could lose the matchup, Ilia. Obviously, Arman could lose the matchup. It's a good matchup. But Ilia is already a champion. He cut it, he sacrificed his belt. He relinquished his belt to go up. So I think when you make that big a sacrifice and, you're one of the better stars and, the wins he did accomplish in such a short amount of time, back-to-back, knocking out Volk and Max Holloway, now coming up to a division where there's not really no strong contenders. Arman's a strong contender, but again, he fumbled. But there aren't any other strong contenders, so I can see if the division was stacked and like that. Lightweight's supposed to be stacked, but where are the great contenders? Not really any there. But yeah, it's supposed to be stacked, but it's not. But I can see it was like, oh, we got good contenders for days. I can see if that was the case. Then Ilia may have to do some work. But the fact that Arman was the only really good contender at the moment, that's really in position to challenge for the belt, and then he fumbled, that just leaves a wide open gap. I know Gaethje has the star power, the name power, but Gaethje has already fought for the belt twice in the UFC, and he got submitted twice. Like, same way with Poirier. He fought for the belt twice, got submitted, got a third chance, he got submitted again. Like, yes, it's going to be, probably sell some decent pay-per-views, nothing crazy. But as a fight fan, like, you really a fight fan, do you really want to see that matchup when there's an Ilia matchup, like Islam versus Ilia matchup? I personally would want the matchup to be like 2 years down the line, but the fact that Ilia had already took the steps to, expedite it or whatever, by just relinquishing his belt and going up instead of defending his belt like 2 more times, knocking off Lopez and knocking off Volk again, and maybe knocking off Evles or Lopes, Volk, and Evles like 3 more defenses or whatever, and then moving up, and that would probably would took like a year and a half or maybe 2 years, and then that would probably for me I feel like that would have been a better version of Ilia. That would give Ilia a better chance of beating Islam. But hey, he got confidence in himself. He just said, like, I'm just going to go up there and fight for the belt instantly. And he took the sacrifice. So he should get rewarded for his sacrifice and should be able to fight Islam, especially when there aren't any strong contenders outside of, again, Arman, who fumbled his opportunity. He had the opportunity, he fumbled it. And again, we don't want to see Gaethje fight for no belt. We already seen it twice. Reality, we've seen it 5 times because Poirier and Gaethje, Gaethje the same guy. Might as well be the same guy. Same scenario, like they're not UFC championship level. They might lose some losers to think they're UFC championship level, but how many times you gotta get proven that you're not UFC championship level? You're not. No disrespect to y'all, but y'all just not UFC championship level, never will be UFC championship level. Like, y'all high level fighters, but we don't want to see y'all fight for no belt again. Don't want to see the same exact scenario play out, you getting tapped out or put to sleep again. Ilia's undefeated, a killer, elite, not no tapper on the ground. Like, he's a real elite solid guy. Like, different tier than Poirier and Gaethje. Like, a different tier. I want to see that guy fight Islam. Especially when it's here. Islam might not be here 2 years from now. He might decide to retire. Ilia might decide to retire in 2 years. So while they're here, let's get the matchup. Both of these guys talking about they retiring soon. Like, Ilia said he wants to retire by 30. I think he like 27, 28. And Islam said He wants to go for another belt and then pretty much retire. If that, he could get the other belt. So neither of those guys are looking to stay around for a long time. Like, I'm not gonna be fighting having 20 defenses. Like, they're like, 5, 6, good enough. Like, that's on Makhachev's side. And Ilya, like, 2 division champion, probably like, we had 1 defense at featherweight. Probably might get, if he does get the belt, might have 3 defenses at lightweight. And then probably walk away after that. So, again, neither of them are looking to stay here long. Or too long. Especially not Ilya. Because Ilya just got here and he already talking about leaving. Makhachev at least has been in the UFC for some years. I feel like Makhachev has been in the UFC for like a decade at least, I think. Probably came in the UFC like 2016, 2017. Nah, probably like 2015. Don't quote me on that, but he's been in the UFC a long time. Ilya only came here like in the COVID era. So at most like 5 years. So, yeah. But that's the matchup to make. I kind of repeated myself plenty of times. That's the matchup to make. Again, Arman fumbled. Nobody wants to see Gaethje fight Islam. Nobody with any sense wants to see. Well, I guess as far as a better, I could be a little bit selfish. I like, yeah, make the matchup so I could get that sub prop, easy free money. Gaethje was getting taken down and mounted by a midget striker. So imagine what Islam Makhachev going to do to him. That'd be easy money. Also with Gaethje like 37, not good for him. 0-2 in UFC title fights, submitted 2 of 2 times. Got mounted by a midget striker. Has not evolved his grappling at all. So, yeah, everything lined up for another submission loss. So, probably could get that at maybe plus value, maybe plus 100. But even at like minus 150, minus 175, that's a crazy value for something that's a very likely outcome. And probably should do like first or second round. So, yeah. In that sense, from a betting perspective, that's a much easier fight to bet. Not Arman, but Ilya, Makhachev versus Ilya, or Ilya versus Makhachev, or Topuria versus Makhachev, however you want to say it. Makhachev versus Topuria. Yeah, that fight will be harder to bet because that's 2 elite guys who, one guy's undefeated. We don't know how good or bad he can be. We know he's good, but I'm saying, like, how good or bad can he look against Makhachev today? Like, you're going up 10 pounds, fighting a guy who's the pound number 1. Like, that could be a very tough fight for you. I mean, it will be a very tough fight for both guys, most likely. So, and it'd be a tough fight to bet, predict. But Gaethje versus Makhachev, that's a real easy fight to predict, a real easy fight to bet, and really free money right there. So I guess, again, from that side, Vegas side, and well, not Vegas. Vegas don't like that. But the gamblers in Vegas love that. An easy fight to bet on. Yeah, that's about it. But as far as like, you really want to see the best fight the best in a real matchup where there's not a pretty much sketched out outcome. The best of the best at this moment in 2025, 2026, whenever it does take place, if it does take place, that's the best matchup you could get. So why would you want a dumb matchup like Makhachev versus Gaethje unless you're just looking at it from the betting perspective or you're just a delusional fan? Like, I just want to see Gaethje can do it. Gaethje can do it. Give him another chance. Like, but respectfully, he ain't got no shot. So yeah, the best matchup you can make at this point is Makhachev versus Topuria, and then have Gaethje fight Arman, and the winner of that matchup will fight the winner of that matchup. So, most likely Arman beats Gaethje pretty easily. He goes up and he fights the winner of Ilya versus Makhachev, and then you got 2 good matchups back to back. Gaethje is not one of the good matchups. Gaethje is gonna get watched by anybody that got some bit of grappling. You can even put him against Gamera, he probably lose that one too. But yeah, you put Gaethje versus Arman, he gets dogged. Put Gaethje versus Topuria, he gets dogged. Put Gaethje versus Makhachev, he gets dogged. But the good matchups are Makhachev versus Topuria, and the winner of Makhachev versus Topuria versus Arman. Those are 2 good matchups. I'm not counting Arman versus Gaethje. That's not a good matchup. It's another easy money bet, free money, because you just bet against Gaethje in those matchups. But the real good matchups again are Makhachev versus Topuria, and Makhachev versus Topuria's winner versus Arman. Those fights would be kind of hard to bet on, kind of. I think I wouldn't pick Arman to beat either. I wouldn't pick Arman to beat Makhachev, and I wouldn't pick Arman to beat Topuria. But again, it'd be a harder fight to bet. But I still feel like it's a fight I could bet on against Arman in both those matchups, because I feel like, yes, he's a solid fighter, but I don't feel like he really edges them anywhere, except maybe against Topuria. He is the bigger guy, and could try to look to wrestle and stuff, but it's like Arman hasn't really shown such great offensive. I feel like he's a better scrambler than as far as offensive takedown guy. So I feel like it's not gonna be like, oh, he going in there fighting like a big Merab Dvalishvili, or he going there fighting a Khabib level wrestler as far as offense. Like Arman's scrambling wrestling defense is pretty phenomenal, but again, I haven't really seen such great offensive wrestling. I feel like where would that play in the Topuria match? Because not like Topuria's gonna be looking to wrestle Arman, but he might mix it up a little bit, but he's not gonna look to do that. It's his main approach. He's gonna mostly look to catch him on the feet, and I think he's definitely a much better striker than Arman. And then he'll be faster. Arman's not used to people being faster, so he'll go in there with a guy that's smaller, strong, much better pocket boxing, power to knock him out. Arman keeps his hands very low. He's already been caught by Joaquim Silva, who's much lower, much less technical, much less skilled guy, a journeyman lightweight. So imagine a clean, crisp, prime, creme de la creme fighter, world champion level, potential top 10 pound for pound all time list level talent going there with him and seeing those same opening. Like he most likely might knock Arman out, especially in 5 rounds. But yeah, it's still a tough matchup. But I'm just saying, I definitely could feel comfortable betting on Ilya or Makhachev to beat Arman if those matchups do get made. But yeah, but let me know your thoughts. Do you guys actually want to see Gaethje fight for the belt one more time, or do you not? And do you like the matchup? Let's say like the matchup that should be had, that I feel should be had next, is Makhachev versus Topuria and Gaethje versus Arman. So do you like those matchups? So Makhachev versus Topuria, Gaethje versus Arman. The winners fight each other. Do you like that matchmaking done by me? But yeah, should Gaethje get another shot? Do you like those matchups? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you want to join the Discord, let me know. I'll drop the link below. But that's been a video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more videos. Peace.